Hello, it's the Sinister Gambino here with a new stream. And this stream will be going over the event week for this week from early last Thursday in Grand Theft Online. But there's still a couple more days on this event week, so yeah, definitely want to cover it now rather than even later. And yeah, I think I already got that. Yep. Podium vehicle for the week, for the last couple days of the event week, is the Principe Electro. And that one's like around 750,000 if I remember right. Do my one wheel spin for it because I traditionally don't care much for these vehicles. I have pretty much all the vehicles I want for the most part in this game, quite honestly. Red Bull check, clothing unlock, I'll take it. Clothing's actually one of my favorite ones, not gonna lie. Because I don't normally really care to buy clothing, at least at this current moment in the game. And Principe Electro, that was a release like way back from early 2015 from the original Heist update. Which also means it is a retro vehicle and from like back in the 7th gen versions of the game even, so that's kinda cool. A little preview at some discounts there. So yeah, Principe Electro, apparently it's exactly $750,000 here. And yeah, it's from the Heist update. And something interesting actually about the Principe Electro is that it actually has a unique feature known as a Curse Boost. It's one of only 2 vehicles in the game, I believe, that has the Curse Boost feature. And yeah, I'm going on the spreadsheet from Broughy 152 right now. But yeah. The Principe Electro, like I said, you'll save $750,000. The vehicle surely has no liveries on it, so don't really get that extra like $20,000 if you were to keep a livery or something, because it doesn't have any. But yeah, Curse Boost, I didn't really explain it yet, I don't think, but Curse Boost, I think it's like a boost where you like get your braking power back in the form of like a speed boost, so like when you get like slowed down or something, it kind of turns to a speed boost, so you kind of make back your speed, so you're not necessarily like gaining speed, you're kind of getting speed from being slowed down. But yeah. If there's a lot of lap time in a race, perhaps you could get some like legitimate Curse boost without needing to deliberately brake much. So it could be nice in certain circumstances, but not really that useful. Like I said, only 2 vehicles in the game even have the Curse boost, so I guess they noticed it wasn't really that great of a feature necessarily. Because there's only like one other vehicle that was after this that even got in the first place. And that would be like the Vindicator, which is like the other motorcycle, which came out like a couple updates after. That's like the only other vehicle that has the Curse boost. So yes, it's a very unique vehicle with having this Curse boost feature, which is quite nice. But yeah. Electro for lap time for the motorcycle class is apparently 19th place. And then for top speed for the Electro and top speed is 31st place for the motorcycle class. And there's 50 motorcycles in the game apparently. So it does have an above average lap time, but it is still out of the top 10. So not really worth it for performance. Literally the only good thing I would say about this would be the unique Curse Boost feature, which you can also get on the Vindicator. I think that one actually benefits better from the Curse Boost because it's not much of a sport bike, whereas this one's kind of a sportier bike with the Curse Boost. I think the Vindicator, the other one, is not much of a sports bike, so it's probably the least useful of the 2 Curse Boosting motorcycles. by the way, I'm showing off one of my new tuner vehicles here. It's the P-Fister Comet S2. And for those who don't know, I went to P-Fister Pink for the primary color because it's a P-Fister vehicle and there's not much of a vehicle manufacturer that has like a color after it or whatever. So, because it's P-Fister, I figured I would go with a P-Fister Pink primary, and then I went crazy with like all over different kinds of pinks. And yes, I do have the low grip tires on the S2. Reason being is the S2 is technically the #1 top speed if you're counting for the low grip tires and like lowering the vehicle and stuff like that. But yeah, I say that for a reason, which I'll kind of explain more later on, because it kind of is relevant to the prize ride for those who've been working on it for like a few days or something, because yeah, it was like a 5-day thing you had to do. So if for some reason you haven't done any of the prize rides and like before I mentioned anything about it, if anyone hasn't done the prize ride for some reason, it's technically impossible because it's a 5-day prize ride thing. But I figured I would get this too because I kind of wanted to have a purpose for the low grip tires, and I didn't really have much of another vehicle or really any vehicle I cared to use it on. So obviously I went for the #1 top speed. Like, yeah, it's not going to be too useful for races with the like icy kind of handling, because of course with the low grip tires you can't really corner for shit pretty much. But yeah. Also, by the way, I did mention this on the Red Dead stream, but I did manage to pick up a PlayStation 5. I don't have it yet, but it should be getting delivered on Wednesday, I know now, which is quite nice. I actually got like I got pretty exclusive invitation to like the PlayStation Direct thing, and that allowed me to secure a PlayStation 5 pretty well. So yeah, I should have that PlayStation 5 in a couple of days, apparently, as I know now, since I got shipping information and stuff as of today, being Monday. So this might be my final live stream on the PlayStation 4 in particular. Any other live streams I do and stuff might be on the PlayStation 5 for sure. Unless something like changes with it or something. So I wanted to mention that. And yeah, Priam race. Priam race for the week is for the motorcycle class, boots on the ground, which seems to be in Fort Zancudo. Doesn't seem to be like right on the runway, so I'm assuming it's probably going to revolve more around lap time on this one. So I guess I'll go over lap time because it doesn't really look like it's on the runway or anything. Obviously it could go on the runway, but yeah. Since the image here suggests more lap time, I'm probably just going to go over lap time for the most part. But yeah, for the motorcycle class, the #1 lap time option is the Nagasaki Shotaro. Nagasaki Shotaro is $2.3 million. And Nagasaki Shotaro is pretty interesting because you have to actually unlock the vehicle for purchase. There's not much of a vehicle you have to unlock for purchase. There's a lot of vehicles in the game where there's a trade price, and if you do certain stuff you can get a lower price. And there used to be vehicles back in the day, but I know they changed it where you have to get like a certain rank. That's no longer the case though. So yeah, Nagasaki Shotaro, I believe, is still one of those like rare cases where you have to actually unlock a vehicle, and you do that by playing a match at Deadline. And by the way, they removed tons and tons of adversary modes apparently, so for those who are wondering, Deadline is actually still one of the like few to several adversary modes or whatever they decided to keep into the game. I'll go more into like job removals and stuff maybe near the end of this stream here, but yeah. For those who for some reason don't know, they did remove a lot of like different kind of like job things in the game for whatever weird reason. Or actually they did kind of explain it 10 minutes in, and this stream doesn't want to work for shit, of fucking course. Alright, I guess I gotta check my fucking live stream now, because it doesn't want to work, of course. I guess that's what happens when I do these earlier live streams, is the fucking thing doesn't want to work right. Seriously, within 10 minutes and I'm on like the lowest or second lowest fucking quality thingy, which is annoying. Hope that's still not an issue with PlayStation 5. I bet my ass it fucking will be. And from what I hear, fucking Xbox doesn't fucking have like native fucking YouTube streaming, so like I didn't really go on Xbox and like every fucking thing that's been possible fucking get, but thankfully I did manage to get something, as I mentioned. Of course it's easier to get the 5 because I had a PlayStation system last and there's like all that kind of loyalty shit. So yeah. But anyways, $2.3 million is from the Bikers update from like late 2016. It was a late 2016 update. It's quite a ways down on Luxury Motorsport website, but higher up than the Principe Electro that it showed off, of course. There was probably a little preview of the Shotaro when I was scrolling through the different vehicles and stuff. But yeah, Nagasaki Shotaro, you have to go forward or backwards of stick for the best possible speed. I think it's the only motorcycle in the game where you can go forward or backwards of stick for that best possible speed. 95% of motorcycles in this game, you have to go backwards of stick if you want that, like, speed bonus. But Nagasaki Shotaro, I think, is the only one where you can get the speed bonus forward or backwards. So it's kind of most accessible in that aspect. Stats for that $2.3 million price range. And then there's only probably one other motorcycle I mentioned here, and it's actually going to be the Body 801. But yeah, the reason I mentioned the Body 801 is it's actually a number 3 for lap time, and then it's also a number 3 for top speed. And what that essentially means is the Body 801 is the best average motorcycle for racing and like time trials and all that stuff in terms of motorcycle class. So that's a couple little things I mentioned with the Body 801 and whatnot. Time trial. Time trial for the week is Route 68. I think Route 68, I kind of remember, goes mostly straight on this, like, road here and stuff. So there might actually be a lot of top speed involved with this one. So I'll probably mention some top speed stuff here. I'll go into supercar first. But yes, supercar class, as I mentioned. But yeah, if you want the number 1 top speed option for the supercar class, that would go to the P-Fister 811. P-Fister 811 is the number 1 top speed supercar. If you want to use like a supercar, it's 1,135,000, 1,145,000, something like that. And it's from like Finance Bounty DLC, which is like a mid 2016 release. Again, that's an Luxury Motorsports, so it was probably seen when I was like scrolling through to the Principe Electro and stuff, so yeah. For those who are curious, top speed seems to be at 132.5. But, like I mentioned actually, if you do have low grip tires and then you have the Comet S2 lowered, alright, I guess I changed that to default, I think, because I was using the Sultan RS Classic, but yeah. If you lower this in any of the low grip tire for Comet S2 in particular, as long as you like have all the engine upgrades and stuff, I think this can get to like 161 miles per hour if I recall, with the low grip and stance setup and all that. So the Comet S2 could be a very good time trial option, especially for ones with a lot of straights, which I would imagine the Route 68 does have a lot of straights, so the Comet S2 could be very good. Sure. But if you want the best tuner without having low grip tires, it's actually the Jester RR, which again I'll kind of go into later because it is actually the prize ride. So that's some good option. So that's a very good option. It's been added recently. Let's just with Santos tuners if there's like a lot of straights and stuff. And I don't think the like bad lap time is going to impact you too much. So yeah, the S2 could be a good option as well, and that's a sport car even, with the low grip and stance setup as mentioned. And yeah, I'm very confident when I say this one's probably mainly top speed again, because it's Route 68, it's kind of a highway kind of thing. But yeah. Supercar. I probably just really mean to go over the motorcycles now, which I already mentioned the Shotaro #1 lap time because of the Preem race. I mentioned the best average vehicle for time trials and motorcycle races being the Body 801, so if you don't think a like S2 with low grip and like being stance and lowered and all will work out that well, if you have that kind of like vehicle with that setup and stuff, then perhaps do the Body 801, because Body 801 is like the best kind of vehicle available for time trials in general, I'd say. And yeah, if you want the #1 motorcycle for top speed, I would go to the Maibutsu Mancha Scout. Maibutsu Mancha Scout is like a $100,000 to $200,000 motorcycle, and it's a very recent release with the Kyle Perico heist. I think the Mancha Scout is actually the latest motorcycle that's been added in the game for the Mancha Scout, so yeah. Maibutsu Mancha Scout is the #1 top speed, so on Route 68, I feel top speed, of course, would be very good, so Mancha Scout could definitely have some advantages over the Body 801 for this particular time trial. And you know, like most motorcycles, gotta lean backwards with the sec for that best possible speed. And then, what else? And then I already mentioned the Body 801, so I'm not going to really show off the time trial on the screen right now, but I don't think I went into all the details with it yet. Like I said, Body 801, #3 lap time, #3 top speed. It's top 3 for both lap times and top speed, very decent. Not much of a vehicle has that. But I think I forgot to mention the price of it and stuff. The Body 801 is actually a vehicle from day one in the game. It's $10,000, $9,000, $8,000 something. It's a very decent entry price. Also kind of the best time trial vehicle in the game right now, since as of the last couple of years there's no rocket boosted stuff you can use for these time trials. The Body 801 in 2021 is actually a very good investment, even though it's a very cheap vehicle and stuff. I think I've kind of managed to mention everything I needed to mention for the Body 801 now. I think I managed to mention it. And if I didn't mention Santos and San Andreas, I like the way bottom on the website, because it's from day one and then it's a motorcycle. But yeah. Also, sorry if I'm going around the highway and stuff like crazy right now. I'm just having a lot of fun with the S2, with the low grip and then lowered in the interaction menu as well. It's just a lot of fun going as fast as can be. I think if I watched Perfect 1322, I also heard that like the setup of the low grip and then like the lowered But yeah. Fucking real life pissing me the fuck off right now. But yeah, here the low grip and then lowered stance setup is actually faster than like the Vigilante even with the rocket boost, which is just insane if that's the case. With the S2 here, like 161 miles per hour. Again, because of the low grip, it's not good like at all for lap time. And finally, the premium race for this section here. Not premium race, but the RC Bandito time trial. RC Bandito time trial for the week is Cypress Flats. Cypress Flats is like the second time trial in rotation, I believe. So I think it's like the second out of like 10 RC Bandito time trials. And it's actually one of like 4 RC Bandito time trials I actually have a guide for, so I do have a guide on this one. So if you want like more of a reputable guide, I recommend GTA Men. He seems to do really good time trials. I don't watch them myself, but I assume they're good. And then there's GTA series videos, but they don't commentate, they just show off the gameplay and stuff. So yeah, Cypress Flats or C Bandito Town Trial. There's not really a lot to mention with it, obviously, because there's only really one vehicle you can use. And in terms of like upgrades and stuff, there's not a lot that really helps the vehicle, aside for like the jump boost, which is only really too useful on like long straights and stuff, and you maybe get like a second or two better at most. In terms of time, I would imagine. So yeah, just basically knowing the course is kind of the best you could do for time trials for the most part, because there's not like all kinds of vehicles you can use, like the regular one, obviously. Stream still seems to be working, thankfully. And then that seems to be it for the pre-race time trial or Bandito time trial. Gee. Hey, how much it lags by the casino though, actually. God damn it. But yeah. By the way, I have not mentioned yet, but I did actually finally release like a new video thing, and that was the Sparrow and Sea Sparrow review and guide. I finally got that released. Very early today I released it, so not even a day old yet. If for some reason anyone would be interested in a kind of review after a Caprico heist, like I didn't do a lot of Caprico like vehicle reviews and stuff, but that's kind of fine because there's like nothing really I care to review from this current update anyways, obviously, because I'm going to review all the weaponized stuff and whatnot, but yeah. So I haven't really mentioned that yet, but I guess I'll go over some money opportunities here. I'll actually go into the MC menu so I can maybe explain the title better here. Don't know if I can actually see them through here while in the like interior, obviously. Okay, I can, so that's good. So, since I'm MC, obviously, all 5 of my like business things can be seen because there's 5 MC businesses in total, and obviously the title is 2 times money on select MC businesses. Now the MC businesses are on 2 times money are essentially the 3rd worst ones. So essentially that means the meth and the coke are the 2 that are not on 2 times. So yeah, meth lab, the meth business is not a 2 times money business, and then also the cocaine. Reason probably being, of course, those 2 are the best of the ones, no doubt. However, though, there is the 50% off of the MC resupplies, so you can kind of, in a sense, make more money with the cocaine in the meth lab in terms of the 50% off the MC resupplies, which if you're doing the businesses efficiently, you should be buying the supplies, because you can easily make 75,000, I believe it normally is, or obviously whatever 50% of that would be, I believe it would be right now, obviously, so you can easily make that money through a couple like VIP works or something while this stuff produces for a couple hours. So if you're doing this stuff efficiently, you should be buying the supplies, so 50% off the MC resupplies, definitely quite nice. So what that means is the document forgery, the weed, and then the counterfeit cash are the 3 that are on and 2 times money. And yeah, for the most part, I would say that like different businesses are practically the same. They all have like the same sale missions and whatnot, as far as I'm aware. They might have like different resupply missions, but like I said, you should be buying the supplies if you're doing these efficiently. So it's inefficient for the MC businesses since it's a passive business to be sourcing stuff in the first place. So these 3 could definitely be more valuable this time around compared to the meth and the cocaine, because those don't have 2 times money. But if you do still want to do the best 2, the cocaine and the meth, as I mentioned, 50% off the MC resupplies, that gives you a tiny bit of profit, obviously. Maybe within only like $50,000 in profit, necessarily in a sense, but it's better than nothing after all. And obviously you can literally like resupply like all your different MC businesses, all 5 of them, even the ones that aren't. So combine all of them, especially this week, you can make some pretty decent money. It sucks that it's not all 5 of them. For whatever reason, they chose to do only 3 of 5. Whereas other times they've done all 5, no problem. But yeah. Trying to think of what to say, since there's not really much to talk about in terms of the business itself. Like, you just simply buy the supplies, because sourcing supplies is really inefficient. You're basically wasting your time instead of making money through other methods. Like, you can easily make like 30 to like $70-ish thousand that you spend for the supplies within like maybe a half hour, I would say. Pretty easily in free mode even. In the invite only at least. So absolutely no reason to be sourcing in the first place. And yeah, to maximize on your money, you obviously want the staff and equipment upgrades. The security upgrades, it's pretty fun to not have the security upgrades. Personally, I've never had a like business raid for the MC, but it's mainly because I don't bother with them too much, because MC businesses are not solo friendly, unfortunately. But yeah. And then onto the solo missions, there's not necessarily too much to talk about, because it's all like random and stuff, it's hard to remember like all different missions, but yeah. The duffel bag missions were taken out, I'm pretty sure, like a few updates ago. Which unfortunately the duffel bag missions were some of the like easier ones, so duffel bags are not a thing unfortunately anymore for the biker businesses. Who knows if they're ever want to bring back that mission, but yeah, they took it out because of a bug or something, never bothered to bring it back in. Probably again because it's like the best mission and they don't want people getting easy missions and stuff, I guess. But yeah. But yeah. I guess I'll just go for some daily reputation stuff for now, because things are kind of in my way right now, apparently. So yeah, I've never drove a Calco GTF, or actually I might have. I don't know, maybe I never have drove a Calco GTS, so this might be the first time kind of test driving it. But yeah, they just kind of did free, like, tuner vehicles, so with all of them being released, there's not really much, like, of anything worth really mentioning in terms of the test track, at least, because test track, obviously, with all the tuners being released, the test track isn't really too useful anymore, I'd say. So at this point, most people should have an understanding, like, the different vehicles and stuff, I would say. I mean, but it's nice if you want, like, Rockstar's, like, built, different, like, built kind of, like, tuners here with the liveries on them. You can get the ones from the test track instead of having to get the ones from the website. And the ones in the test track actually start with a livery on it, which is quite nice. Alright, hopefully someone's finding out my damn way though. But yeah, regardless, I guess I'll mention the different prize rides here. I'm not going to go into like performance and stuff, because there's not much point unless it's like on a discount, I'd say. But I'll just say the like names of them or show them off and stuff. If I know anything about them though, I guess I'll try to bring them up, but I'm not going to like particularly look into the performance of stuff that's not even on discount, necessarily. But yeah. There's the Vapid Dominator GTT on the test track, which is 1 to 2 tuner muscle cars. It's actually the worst of the 2 tuner muscle cars, but yeah, regardless, there's the Dominator GTT. And you get that like white racing livery if you buy it from here instead of on the website, so it's more worth buying vehicles if you want them on the test track if they're available than in the actual website technically. But yeah, it's CR350 is on the test track as well. And then the Calco GTF. This time it seems they just did free vehicles. Oh, come on, English Dave, get out of the way. I just don't know how to interrupt his phone call, at least, since he normally can't with the B button or the circle button and all that. But yeah, all these are actually day 1 tuner vehicles from the first day of the Tuners DLC, and none of them are like drip feed ones here, so yeah, the test track lineup is probably the worst it's ever been, but that's to be expected because there's not a new vehicle for the week or anything, because all the vehicles are finally released. So I hope they eventually expand to having like non-tuner vehicles in the test track. That would be kind of a nice way to make it more interesting, to say the least. Because if they just keep rotating the tuners in particular, it's going to get pretty boring pretty fast, in my opinion. I'd like some more like traditional vehicles and stuff to test ride and all that. Not gonna lie, that would be pretty cool. So I hope that's kind of what they do with that. But anyways, no, someone's not in my way as much, hopefully. As I was saying, they did take out the duffel bag sale missions, so unfortunately they did take out the easiest sale mission, because I guess there was a bug with it, and of course they don't want people having super easy sale missions for some reason. Rockstar cares how easy of a sale mission people tend to get, so I guess with the bug they just use that as an excuse to not bring it back, I suppose. But yeah. Any sell mission that's just one vehicle is what you want, because even if you buy one thing of supplies with the MC vehicles, I think if you do buy one thing of supplies, even with staff and equipment upgrades, I think you do have the chance of getting free vehicles. So it's possible to get free post-op vans just buying one thing of supplies, I want to say, if I remember correctly. For at least 4 of them. Maybe the document forgery is more solo friendly, but yeah, at least the upper 4, I think it's possible to get like free post-op vans if you just buy one thing of supplies. So the MC businesses are known to have some of the worst sale missions in the game, which is quite unfortunate, and is why I don't really like this money opportunity too much. And it is kind of the main money opportunity, unfortunately. But yeah, I think there's like a pounder truck sell mission or something. I think there's ones of like the pounder truck, which is just one vehicle. That one's pretty good. I think there's one with like a van. I think there's one with like some like van thing that you can get. So there's like one where you can get like just one van. That's a good sale mission. There are certain ones of free, maybe like 4 vehicles that are kind of pretty decent to do solo even. I think there's ones of like Western baggers or something. I think there's like the bagger motorcycles. I think if you get like 3 or 4 of those, that one's pretty soloable in a sense. As long as you have like good transport helicopters and stuff like that. Trying to think of what other like sale missions here. I know there's like the Dodo seaplanes. If you have like free Dodo seaplanes. If you're in a very chill lobby, it should be pretty soloable to do free, like, seaplanes, I would say, for the Dodo seaplanes. What else? Free post-op vans. If you get the free post-op vans or post-op vans or whatever, I wouldn't do that one solo. That one's pretty much impossible for the free, like, post-op vans. For, like, the box bills or whatever. So I definitely wouldn't do that one. I would probably re-lobby if you get that one. And if you re-lobby, you only lose like a tiny bit of your supplies, I think. So if you want to like re-roll the sell mission, you probably only lose like 10 to 20,000, I would say at most, and not necessarily a lot of product. So that could be a strategy if you want to go more of the solo route with these biker businesses. More particularly the document forgery, weed, and then the counterfeit cash, the ones that are actually on 2 times. But obviously, like I mentioned, you will make out a little bit more with cocaine and meth because of this resupplies. If you resupply, which there's no reason to source supplies for the most part, so that's what you should be doing. for resupplies if you're doing it efficiently. But yeah, I think I mentioned, oh yeah, there's free dinghies. There's free, like, dinghy boats, I believe. That's a pretty sellable mission, I believe, for the sail missions. Really, for the most part, anything but post-op vans, in a sense, it's, like, decent in some way, I would say. But definitely, if you get the post-op vans, I would just re-lobby. Those are all the kind of sail missions that I brought up that I can kind of remember. So I kind of mentioned as much as I feel I can with the advice on the 2 times money on the biker businesses, the select ones. And then the other 2 are on the pause menu, so they should be easier to explain. Though, yeah, a lot of different modes are kind of forgettable. But yeah. Might also check my fucking stream, because it doesn't want to fucking work good for some fucking reason. Alright. But yeah. By the way, I'll show off some job changes here, like right now, but I'll probably go more in detail later. But yeah. All the Rockstar created target assault races were removed. Target assault races, I think that's quite a huge one to remove. I don't like that they removed target assault. Target assault, I feel, is quite a fun mode, not gonna lie. So they did vault all the target assault races, which sucks. The cool thing about them was you could use like the custom vehicles. There was like 2 maps, maybe you can't use custom vehicles. There's like the turret to the limo and then the armored box boat. I think those ones you can't customize. But the other like 4 or 5 maps, you could use like the custom vehicles on there, which is quite fun. It was kind of a cool like co-op type of race. It was a pretty unique game mode in my opinion. Such unfortunate stuff that they would remove their own target assault races. Like I said, removing their own jobs, I would remove like the player created ones on like your server or whatever. Unless they're like really popular ones, then yeah. They removed some stuff in the stun races, but I'm probably only, at the moment, going to talk about the stuff they straight up removed entirely. But yeah, versus jobs, they got rid of all the versus jobs, which is quite extreme as well. In my opinion, I didn't really care too much for the versus jobs, because there's not really any, as far as I know, where you can actually use custom vehicles. So yeah, versus jobs, in my opinion, I didn't really care for them too much, but I'm sure there's some fun ones that were out there. And yes, this does mean that Crooked Cop is no longer available for those outfit glitchers, whatever. So for those who would outfit glitch or something, I guess there's something with like the Crooked Cop versus mode, and that would allow people to glitch outfits and stuff, so they essentially kind of like patched that, hotfixed it, or whatever. So with that versus mode being gone now, that kind of gets rid of that, like, exploit thing or whatever. So that's one I've been hearing that people aren't very fond of being removed. And yeah, you can probably tell right away, because you probably remember there were adversary modes that started with like A and then C. You can definitely tell some adversary modes were removed. Loading for parachuting. Okay, why does that one load? The versus one is just fine. We have target stall races. But yeah, there's no more parachuting jobs at the moment as well. So they've also vaulted parachuting. And this might be one of the more major ones, kind of, in a sense, that they removed. Because parachuting, I think you need to do parachuting to actually do, like, certain trophies in the game, certain achievements. Like, there are certain trophies, achievements where you have to, like, win in all the, like, different day one, like, game modes in the game. And then you have to, like, play every, like, kind of game mode from day one of the game as well. So a couple of trophies do require parachuting, but if there is a user-created parachuting, that might work. So you might want to find, like, a user-created one if you want to go for some trophies for some reason. But seeing that they can just vault all these different game modes suddenly, I would definitely maybe start working on some trophies in the game and maybe some of the different awards if you want as well for those completionists out there. So a couple I can mention right away, parachuting is just completely gone, versus, and then the target assault. So in my opinion, my least favorite they took out between those three would definitely be the target assault, because I really like that you can use the custom versions on a few of the maps that were there, but yeah, they unnecessarily took them out in my opinion. Versus, in my opinion, versus, there's a lot of different versus modes, kind of like adversary modes. I wasn't big on playing a lot of the versus modes personally, but yeah, I'm sure it sucks. And especially for those who like to make the modded outfits and stuff of Crooked Cop apparently was a thing. That's gone now, so it sucks for those people. And parachuting. Parachuting was a very fun day one game mode, and parachuting's pretty fun. I really like parachuting. Like, I didn't really play that much, but yeah. With parachuting being gone, that really sucks. I really like parachuting. There's also something as well. Apparently, if you do not parachute, Dom will like keep calling you Dom from like the story mode. But yeah. So with not being able to do a parachuting job, I guess you can get tormented by Dom now and can't really have the like ability to like disable him calling you. Because I guess you have to do parachuting different can call from like the Dom character in the contact list. So yeah, that's kind of something interesting as well, as you can kind of get bothered by that character now if you have never done a parachuting for some reason. But again, a user created one might work. So that's some stuff I want to bring up right away. I would talk some more about them vaulting the game modes later on, I guess. But yeah, bike races. I guess I'll talk about the bike races right now since they show up first, and that's 2 times money RP. But yeah, I think there's kind of one way that the like different races pay out. I think in like 8 to 10 minutes if you're solo, you're just doing a race by yourself. If you just like purposely wait 8 to 10 minutes like next to the finish line and then you finish the race, I think you can make around 16,000 doing that, but yeah, 8 to 10 minutes, 16,000, that's not great at all. So that basically like proves that racing really isn't that great at all for making money, so you really mainly want to do that one for fun. And then, yeah, I'm just going to show how empty this whole entire list is, you know. But there's like only 7 different like kinds of adversary modes in a sense. I guess I'll mention the ones that are here, I guess, right now. But yeah, they seemingly left all the interior ones in here, which would be Bunker, Missile Base, and the Diamond Casino. So they didn't remove any adversary modes in terms of like the interior adversary modes. But in my opinion, the interior ones are some of the most bland ones because the settings of them don't change that much, whereas other different game modes. Whereas there's other different like adversary modes where the maps change substantially. Being in the interiors means there's kind of limitations with how much the modes can change. But the good thing about the interior ones is they have the most variety, so there's multiple game modes for the interiors, obviously. So every bullet counts. There's the bunker version. They vaulted the normal every bullet counts. There's diamond every bullet counts, and then missile base as well. So there's a couple versions of every bullet counts. Juggernaut for the bunker. I think Juggernaut also has a diamond and a missile base version. Yeah, diamond as well. And then missile base 2. So there's a couple versions of Juggernaut. I imagine regular Juggernaut's in here. Yeah, there's no regular Juggernaut. They vaulted that as well, just like most adversary modes. Kill quota, I think there's all kinds of versions of kill quota. I think all 3 interiors have that too. And yeah, I think regular kill quota is probably gone, I'm guessing. But it's quite a shame, because kill quota is a pretty fun one, because you have to like level up through a bunch of like guns. It's kind of like the gun game of Call of Duty for this game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a couple versions of kill quota in the interior, but yeah, the regular one has been taken out. All those different maps for regular kill quota are gone. There's Bunker Resurrection. I don't think that one's in all 3 interiors though. There's Diamond Resurrection, but I don't know if Missile Beast has Resurrection. Okay, Resurrection also has a Missile Beast version as well. However, I'm guessing the regular version of it was taken out though. Slasher, I think all 3 have a Slasher as well. Diamond and then Missile Base. But yeah. Slasher was taken out as well, though I think Slasher was actually taken out a few weeks before. I think they actually took out Slasher a few weeks before they vaulted a ton of adversary modes. But yeah, Till Death Do Us Part. Kinda think all 3 of them have that as well. Okay, there's actually not a Till Death Do Us Part for Diamond Casino. And then there's Missile Base Till Death Do Us Part. And then, yeah, it only goes down to like S, so I know they did take down all the regular Till Death Do Us Part things. So if you want to play Till Death Do Us Part, which is a very Valentine's themed mode, then you only have Missile Base and then like the bunker as options now. And then Trading Places, I think all 3 kind of have that one. Bunker, Trading Places. Trading Places for the Diamond. And then, yeah, Missile Base Trading Places as well. And then, of course, regular Trading Places was taken out. I'm not going to give all the examples, I'm kind of just going to give all the obvious examples just looking at the list here. And then, yeah, obviously they have deadlines still, especially when they expanded with 7 more maps recently with the Caprico Heist. I think it was safe to say, obviously, that one was going to stay in the game. Plus, like I mentioned, I think you do have to play a match at deadline to unlock the Nagasaki Shotaro, so by taking that out, they would have had to, like, make the Shotaro available for everyone without playing this game mode. Since I think that's still a thing that they do with the Shotaro. So yeah, that one they kinda had to keep in for that. But there is a couple other problems they kinda caused by getting rid of certain things, as I'll mention later on. And Entourage, I think the Diamond Casino is the only like Entourage mode available right now, because Entourage, the regular one, was surely taken out. Alright, yeah, Diamond Entourage. So if you want to play Entourage, there's only one version of it right now, being for the Diamond Casino. Hardest Target, I don't think was a bunker one. But yeah, if you want to play Hardest Target, there's a Diamond version and I think a Missile Base too. So there's a couple options for Hardest Target, with the regular one being vaulted. I think Resurrection was in the... okay, yeah. Variable accounts, Juggernaut, Quota, Resurrection, Slasher, Trading Places. Alright, I think I talked about Resurrection. Alright, yeah, I did. I think I talked about all this. But then Hostel Vista. Hostel Vista is actually like one of the earliest adversary modes they've ever done, so it's cool that they kept Hostel Vista. But it could be only because it's on a 3 times money RP. I would not be surprised if they take out Hostel Vista in the next couple days if it's no longer going to be on a triple money RP. And then maybe they finally bring it back again when it's on a double or triple. So yeah, hopefully they keep this one in for good, but it's quite possible they remove it in a couple days. And yeah, apparently this one's like a Terminator based mode here, which is pretty cool. So you might want to enjoy this one for the last couple days here. I think regular hunting pack might have been one of their like very earliest adversary modes as well, which I have played 7th gen GTA Online recently, so I do kinda know. There's a remix, but not the regular hunting pack. Say they have removed some of the very original adversary modes as well, unfortunately, from way back in the beginning of the Heist update. Which I think Siege Mentality was another one of those ones from the like very first couple adversary modes, so those are gone. So I see quite the possibility of this one being removed in a couple days for sure, so definitely play that one if you want. I'll definitely do it now before it's too late. Then Hunting Pack Remix. There is probably a reason they kept Hunting Pack Remix, and I think you have to actually unlock the trade price for the Scramjet by playing Hunting Pack Remix, or not playing, you have to win it as well. So yeah, there is a trade price for a vehicle tied to this adversary mode, so I think this kind of like Deadline was kind of one of those couple that were like bound to stay in the game for that reason. So I think there's a good chance Deadline and Hunting Pack Remix stay in for a while unless they get rid of the like trade price altogether for the Scramjet, or make the like Shotaro available for purchase without unlocking it. And I think there's only one missile-based mode that the other interior ones don't have, and that's Power Play. And yeah, regular Power Play was removed, like with many adversary modes, so if you want to play Power Play, your only option now is for Missile Base. And then finally... And finally, they kept Sumo Remix. So they kept a remix version of Sumo, similar to Hunting Pack, but they did get rid of the regular version. So Sumo Remix, pretty fun that they kept that one, I suppose. Sounds like a lot of people were big fans of Sumo Remix, from what I've been hearing. But yeah, final summary kind of, all the bunker modes, which has quite the variety. Deadline, the diamond modes again, quite the variety. Hostel Vista, which I do kind of see this one being removed in a couple days, but since there's barely any, they might decide to keep it for one of the more permanent modes at least. Hunting Pack Remix, probably because of the Scramjet trade price, they kept this one, I'm guessing. Similar to Deadline, they probably kept that one because it's tied to the Shotaro being purchasable, and plus they added new maps of Cayo Perico, so made sense to keep that one, and this one especially. Missile Base being an interior one, has all kinds of variety, so it makes sense to keep Missile Base bunker and diamond. And the last of the non-interior ones, sumo remix. So in total there's like 7 different types of adversary modes in a sense. Bunker, missile base, diamond, bunker, missile base, diamond, every interior ones, deadline, hostile vista, anti-pack remix, sumo remix. I believe that's all 7 of them. So yeah, they dwindled down quite a lot on the adversary modes, which is quite annoying that they would remove all those different adversary modes, but yeah. I suppose since I went over all those adversary modes, I'll go over the rest of the removals and stuff. And some thoughts as well. But yeah, I already mentioned parachuting, target assault, and versus, which were just entirely nuked. Entirely, so there's not one to choose from now. Unless it's like a player-created one, then yeah, obviously there's player-created ones out there. And yeah, tons of adversary modes, already went over that one. And there's too many adversary modes to remember exactly all the ones that were removed. But I'm sure there's a lot of favorites that were removed, no doubt. But not like they were really all that worth playing necessarily anyways. But still, it's really messed up for them to remove all these damn modes when it's been completely fine for years. But yeah. And then they also vaulted some other stuff. So some of the stunt race stuff they vaulted. They vaulted all the different special vehicles. Okay. I don't know if you all heard the news, but things have been better between me and the person, at least from what I've been told. But yeah. Okay, that was very weird. People trying to harass me again and failing miserably. Okay, there's a way to remove comments, I believe, here. Hide player. Alright, I got rid of it. Good. But yeah, that was really random. I don't know what that was all about. Alright, hopefully I won't be bothered anytime here soon. But yeah. Nice distraction from that piece of shit, for sure, but yeah. Alright, yeah, my thing still shows. But yeah. It's hard to show, but it's hard to show it off because I think they removed every single special vehicle race. So it's not like one that they kept. But yeah, they got rid of all the special vehicle races, which includes the Deluxo, Boys Are Aqua, Ruiner 2000, the Rapid Kid Voltic, and the Stromberg. Also includes the Thruster and then the Izzy races as well. So they got rid of some of the highly exclusive money opportunities for certain vehicles, which is quite disappointing. I think any like huge money opportunity for like a very particular vehicle should be kept in the game, in my opinion. I don't know why they decided to remove that kind of stuff of all things, but yeah. In my opinion, some of the special vehicle races are some of the better races from Rockstar created in the game, no doubt. So yeah, all special vehicle races were essentially removed. RC Bandito races were removed as well, which is also in the summary section, I believe, for the RC Bandito races. So they got rid of one of the highly exclusive money opportunities for the RC Bandito, so now it only really has the RC Bandito time trials, so at least it's useful for the time trials still. I don't feel anyone really bothered much with the RC Bandito races, but still really messed up to remove them. When they've been finding the game for years and stuff, but yeah. Our Spain Data races, special vehicle races, and then finally there's C races. And I want to say that first C race I remember in alphabetical order was Delta 5 or something. But yeah, I don't see a Delta 5, which is a DE. It starts with DI now instead of like DE, because I think there was one called Delta 5. So yeah, one of the day one modes they got rid of was the C races, it seems. At least there's still air races, it seems. So that's pretty cool with the air races, but yeah. And there's bike races and then the land races. And then sure, like open wheel races and stuff still. The one regular race type they got rid of was the C races though. And I want to actually show off with the vehicle here, actually, with mine. I'm not going to, like, customize it in color and whatnot, but yeah. I'll just go into random mod shop because it kind of requires showing off the mod shop to show like what was impacted with the C races. But believe it or not, there is some somewhat exclusive content that was taken out because of C races being removed in the game now. But again, if you do like user-created races, you could probably alleviate the problem with user-created races for those C races, but yeah. You shouldn't have to like download a user-created or play a user-created C race, in my opinion. They should just have their regular Rockstar-created C races available, but yeah. There are actually certain respray colors that you can only get by doing certain C races. But yeah, as you can see, there's certain colors for completing stun jumps. Certain colors for completing a certain amount of races of a certain class. More stun jump ones. Turbo starts apparently. There's some sort of like different colors you can unlock. I think there were some that were tied to C races, which I'm trying to see right now. I think they were matte colors, actually, if I recall correctly. But yeah. Here. This item unlocked after winning a C race. Midnight Blue, Purple, Shafter Purple, Dark Red, Lime Green might be the final one. Alright. But yeah, there's 5 matte colors that might no longer be unlockable unless you win a C race. But yeah, again, you might be able to win a like user-created C race. But yeah, those matte colors are now maybe more a legacy in the game now that they removed the Rockstar-created C races. So removing the Rockstar-created C races might make those more legacy like colors in the game. So that's a pretty interesting removal. Did they not think they were like removing certain like modifications? I think there is a workaround to that though, and that's if you own an auto shop. If you have an auto shop property, or even if you go into another player's auto shop, I think you have access to like all of the different like colors even without unlocking them. So the cool thing with the auto shop is you actually don't have to unlock any of the paint jobs, whereas if you go to a Santos custom or like anywhere else, I think you have to actually unlock the stuff. So you can still get those 5 matte colors if you have not won a C race if you own that property, so that's the workaround to that. But yeah, sorry if this live stream is so long, there's just a lot to explain in terms of like the vaulting content and stuff. In addition to all the like stuff as well with the actual event week and whatnot. And then also getting randomly harassed by someone there. Because anyone who comments that one thing that one person did fucking isn't a good person that comes across this channel, unfortunately. Alright, looks like my stream's still working. And I don't know why everything's having that. Oh my, wow. I lost all my fucking tabs because my mobile Chrome not working right. What the hell? Chrome mobile app got rid of all my tabs. Like, what the hell? Like, wow, good going there, fucking goddamn fucking Chrome app. Fucking getting rid of all my tabs because it didn't shut down properly. Stupid mobile app for fucking Chrome just fucking shot itself. So now I lost a lot of important tabs that I use for this stuff. That's great, so I have to reload them all. But yeah, I mentioned parachuting, target stall versus adversary modes. Mentioned the only 7 basically for the adversary modes that are left. Special vehicle races, series is our Sigma Dito. Yeah, I talked about all that now. So I think I finished talking about vaulting content. I might talk about my stance on it. But yeah, in my opinion, vaulting content is such a scummy thing to do. I really don't understand the, idea of vaulting content. Yeah, when they bring back the modes, it's kind of cool that they're legacy and stuff, and it does encourage more people to play them. Maybe that's what they're going for by doing this new vaulting content approach, but they got rid of a lot of good stuff. Target assault races, being able to use custom vehicles on a few of the maps, that's a pretty fun thing. All the different special vehicle races, maybe aside for the hot ring circuit, but that's not necessarily a special vehicle, because special vehicles are the ones in the interaction menu, this Phantom Wedge and the nightclub delivery vehicles, basically the import-export vehicles, and also the nightclub delivery vehicles. So basically the vehicle warehouse vehicles, and then also the free nightclub delivery vehicles, those count as special warehouse vehicles, or whatever I was saying. They got rid of C races, which you wouldn't think would be such a huge removal, but being locked out of 5 of the map colors, aside for being in your auto shop, that's a kind of huge deal if you like some of those map colors in particular. So that kind of cuts out 25% of the map colors in the game. Unless you're again in your auto shop, if for some reason you haven't won a C race, and I don't know what keeps popping up there. Just utility stuff. And yeah, please don't vault. And yeah, please don't vault any more contact missions. They already vaulted several contact missions years and years back or something. So hope they don't start vaulting more contact missions. That would be really scummy, especially in my opinion, because contact missions are some of the most replayable stuff in the pods menu, in my opinion. So I'm definitely hoping they never touch a contact mission again. And all the different adversary modes, yes, it was bloated, but, can they not, redesign this menu? Have, one thing that says bunker, and then pull up all the bunker modes, one deadline, pull up all the bunker, and then pull up all the deadline modes on a sub-menu? Why do they have to have them all as, individual options? If it was to remove the clutter, then they could just do some reworking on this menu, I would hope, but maybe for expand enhanced, I guess. But quite frankly, this is kind of opposite of expand enhanced. I know this is the 8th gen version, but yeah. They're removing stuff in this game. That's the opposite of expanding it. That's for sure. So it's quite ironic. Expand enhanced gets all these trash trailers. The couple trailers for expand enhanced have been quite trash so far. And then they go on to remove all kinds of stuff unnecessarily for the 8th gen versions. It's quite scummy in my opinion. Even if nobody plays them, they should always be available to be played. If I was Rockstar, I would take out a lot of user created stuff that doesn't get played at all, assuming that would help at all with the game. And it kind of suggests that it kind of helps with the game, in a performance standpoint or something, I feel, with the way they word it, but yeah. I don't really see what problem this is solving by vaulting all these game modes. My opinion is just more scummy than anything. I don't see it as hopeful whatsoever, that's for sure. Like I said, when they do put them on a triple and double money now, if they keep removing them when they're not on double triple, then yeah. Then it does give a lot more incentive to play the modes than there used to be, but still, anyone who wants to make money still probably won't play the game mode anyways, because it's not really that efficient for making money for any of the adversary modes, really. when you can just do Hour of Cow Geist and get easy millions. So I don't really see what problem they're trying to solve aside from matchmaking, but like, even with there being only 7 like modes, not all of them are going to have great matchmaking, I imagine. Like, there's still going to be that one that's way more popular than the others, surely, even with just 7 like different types. So again, I really don't see what problem they're trying to solve, despite what they mention and whatnot. Pay and make room for future updates. How come they have to remove stuff before until this update to make room for future updates? Like, are you telling me they can't update the game anymore without removing all these pointless game modes now, kind of, or something? Like, it doesn't make sense. They would have probably been doing this a few years ago if it actually, like, helped. I feel it's just some really shitty PR, like, statement thing that they put on the Rockstar Newswire. Which I'll read the statement here soon, but yeah. Let's make room for... And yeah, they say the jobs will be cycled in and out as we continue to add to the game in the future. So yeah, they will cycle the game modes in and out, which is quite nice. So yeah, they will bring modes back and stuff, obviously, as I mentioned. And honestly, they probably will try to remove Hostile La Vista in a couple days after it's no longer on Double Triple, but come on, Rockstar. Hostile La Vista was one of the first couple adversary modes, and I know that because I've been playing 7th Gen GTA, and then on the 7th Gen version of GTA Online, there's only like 3 adversary modes. Hostile La Vista is one of those like 3 adversary modes on the 7th Gen, because it barely had adversary modes before they kept being super bloated in 8th Gen. Unnecessarily. But now to read the statement. As previously mentioned, we will continue to remove certain GTA Online jobs, make room for further updates, as well as to assist with player matchmaking. These jobs will be cycled in and out as we continue to add to the game in the future. But yeah, like I said, what is the actual problem they're solving? Like, they say all this stuff, yet wouldn't they have been doing this all years ago if it actually, like, helped with what they're claiming it would help with? Like, actually. And I actually didn't talk about Hostile La Vista yet. Not that much, I feel. Like I said, there's just been a lot to talk about in terms of the game modes and being like vaulted and stuff. There's just a lot to talk about in terms of the vaulting of game modes and explaining my opinions on it and stuff. So that's kind of why this event week's been kind of long for this event week stream in particular, because there's a lot of vaulted modes to talk about and whatnot. But yeah, like I was saying, Hostile La Vista is actually a Terminator style game mode with like the bicycles and then like the trucks and stuff. I think there's kind of a mission like that in the San Andreas where like CJ and Big Smoke are on like a actual like motorized motorcycle, and then there's like semi trucks and stuff. So there is like a San Andreas mission as well that kind of references Terminator. So it's kind of a Terminator reference adversary mode, which is pretty cool. And it's quite a fun adversary mode. It's also one of the very original adversary modes, as I mentioned. But yeah, in terms of making money, it's most definitely not going to be that good. It might be the best opportunity for solo players who aren't like very big on playing the different like biker businesses, because like I said, the biker businesses are known for having some of the worst like resupply. Not resupply, but they're known for having some of the worst like sale missions for the MC businesses. They're known for having a lot of like sale missions that are not solo friendly, even if you like only purchase one thing of supplies. So I guess for solo players also Visa can be pretty nice, but even if you're solo, I think it's way better off to just attempt to do some MC sales than play the mode whatsoever. So I think I mentioned everything now about Hostel Vista, because again, all the different vaulted modes and explaining them and all, that took a long while and stuff. But yeah, trying to see what I haven't talked about yet, since the stream's kind of all over the place, because I want the vaulted game modes again. Like, usually I don't get distracted by a bunch in this, like, indie event like streams, and that's at least this bad to be an hour and a half at this point, but yeah. Alright, sell missions. I didn't talk about the free item yet, actually. But yeah, all MC Clubhouse owners will get a free Blaine County Radio T. And it gets delivered within 72 hours of login after September 27th. So it seems at the end of September, it seems the Blaine County Radio T will be delivered. And yeah, I want to say they did a Blaine County Radio T before, so I don't think it's a new login thing. I think it's more for those who missed out on it before. I want to say for the Blaine County Radio T. But yeah, in my opinion, it's kind of a lot of the different login reward stuff are, it's all clothing and stuff, so it's all very personal preference. I don't know, collecting all the different radio station t-shirts and stuff is pretty cool though. It's pretty cool that they do that kind of stuff, for sure. So I could definitely see there being a community for that kind of stuff, for sure, for the radio t-shirts. But yeah, I already mentioned Hostel Vista, and then also all the different vaulted game modes. Bike races, 2 times. I already basically mentioned anything worth mentioning with that. Okay, prize ride for the Chester RR. I'll be going to my stream again, make sure it's working again. Because of course, within the first 10 minutes, it wanted to shit itself. But yeah, sports. Chester RR is a sport car. It's one of the like 12 sport tuner vehicles for Chester RR here. That's the livery, then also the color. It looks like it's an orange primary thing, and then has some like white and black livery thing on it. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, the prize ride, Chester RR. It's a very good prize ride, actually. It's actually the #1 top speed, aside for the Comet S2 with the low grip and the lowered like stance setup, as I mentioned earlier, like very early on in the live stream. And I mentioned it would be important to talk for later on, and it is. And the challenge, even though it's impossible as of when I'm recording this, obviously, like if you were playing very early on, you surely, if you wanted to, would have got it by now. But yeah, it was placed top 3 for 5 days in a row for a street race series, and street race series minimum is 2 players, so if you do 2 or 3 players, you're practically always guaranteed to get it. And only having to do that once 5 days. If you're doing a 2 to 3 player race, you don't even have to win. So that's a very good challenge if you actually wanted to go for it and already have, obviously, because like I said, it's impossible to do it right now. But yeah, I don't have the tuner performance because I'll have to go on Bruffy 1322's YouTube for that. He doesn't really have a tuner section on his like spreadsheet, but I'll try to see like if I can notice what vehicles are tuners and which ones aren't, because I'm kind of familiar with the names. But yeah, I'll start with lap time, but I kind of gotta look at the spreadsheet for a while, because again, there's no like tuner section for the spreadsheet. But yeah, Snowton RS Classic, Sorton RS Classic, Vector, Calto GTF, those are free. Very good lap time tuners, so I know it's below those. Alright. The Jester RR actually seems to be number 5 in terms of all the sport vehicles, at least. And I know it's better than the Warner HK. I know it's better than the Warner HKR for the tuners class, so that's good. It might be better than the ASP and the GTT for lap time. For sure the GTT, I imagine, but not sure on the ASP. Tailgater S, I don't know what's better than that necessarily. And then the Coupe, it's definitely better than the Coupe. So I think it's like 5th to 7th place lap time, I want to say, for the tuners class. For lap time for the sport class, if you want a lap time for the sport class for the Jester RR, that's actually 34th place between all of the different 89 sport cars in the game now. So yeah, performance for lap time for the sport class is not all that good, but it's at least in the top 10 for the tuner subclass, at least. That's good. And then top speed especially is pretty decent, and again, this all comes from Pro V1322 for the performance stuff. But yeah, if you want the tuner performance, it's actually technically the number 1 top speed for the tuner class, unless, again, yeah, if you're not using low grip tires and you're not like having the vehicle lowered and stuff. If you don't have the vehicle lowered, don't have low grip tires, it's actually the number 1 for a regular vehicle with like none of that fancy stuff for number 1 top speed for the tuner class. So this is kind of the best top speed tuner vehicle, so for that reason I would highly recommend the Jester RR to get it as a prize ride if you really want it for some reason. If you did do the challenge for the 5 days in a row thing, which the only bad part about that challenge is the 5 days in a row. Aside for that, it's a very easy challenge. It just required a lot of dedication is all. Only being able to miss like a day or 2 at most. So yeah, quite decent one here. And then if you want the top speed for the sport class, not the tuner class, it's actually a 9th place top speed for the sport class, and again, it's not accounting for the low grip setup of certain vehicles. So it is top 10 in the sport class for top speed, not just like number 1 for tuner class. So yes, a Jester RR is actually kind of one of the better tuner vehicles, if not like the best tuner vehicle in terms of performance in this game for the 17 tuner vehicles. And the challenge, like I said, wasn't really that bad aside for the 5 day in a row thing, obviously. So for those who got the thing for some reason, then yeah, it's good to know it is a very good vehicle, for sure. And it's a lot easier going over these prize rides now that they're on the spreadsheet and don't have to go through all kinds of like videos and stuff. Yeah, it's just RR. I already talked about the test rides. I didn't really go into the performance because there's not really a discount on them as far as I know, but I just wanted to mention what they were, obviously. Though actually I kind of meant to give a summary on them. I didn't really get to go into the actual performance, but a summary for those who might want to consider picking them up. But yeah, the Dominator GTT, that's one of the 2 muscle cars. It's actually the worst of the 2 tuner muscle cars, but still, being one of the few tuner vehicles that's not a sport car, I feel alone makes it kind of worth having as one of your like 10 vehicles in your like auto shop if you want to make them all like tuner vehicles, for example. Obviously you can kind of put almost anything in the tuner auto shop garage, but yeah, if you want to make it just tuner vehicles, like only yourself to 10 of the 17 tuner vehicles, I would choose this as one of the 10 personally. CR350 is a retro vehicle from San Andreas, but the performance is kind of from what I remember. So it's kind of weak in that regard. Kind of same to GTT, but still, being one of the few non-sport cars alone makes it worth picking up in my opinion. And then the Calico GTF. Calico GTF actually has very good performance for lap time and top speed, I'm pretty sure. I think it's been like the top few of both or something. So even being a day one tuner vehicle with the 7-liter feed additions, it still manages to do pretty decent. So can't necessarily go all too wrong with the Calico GTF. It's one like the top 5. It's within the top 5 for lap time at least. And top speed, I don't remember being all that bad either. So that's some advice in terms of, that's some summaries in terms of the test track vehicles. Alright, went over to Electro, and then the discounts. And I actually haven't really mentioned my, Message Spectator. But yeah, the Message Spectator, what I thought was the highlights, aside for obviously the title, was 3 times my RP Hostel Vista, being one of the money opportunities, and goes for 2 times my RP bike races. And then I kind of already mentioned 50% of the MC supplies, resupplies, which is normally like 75,000 I think, for one thing of supplies. Now I'm making it like 30 to 40,000, 35 to 40,000. So yeah, quite a decent cut in price for the resupplies for the MC businesses for sure. And then free bicycles. Because we totally wanted free bicycles. I would have rather had something like cool and I would have rather had something way cooler for a free vehicle thing, but yeah. All bicycles are free, so if you want to fill up those bicycle slots that you never had like a reason to do before, then definitely do it this week for sure. For these last couple days, you might be able to have like free. I think you can, but yeah, I think you have 3 to 6 bicycles per like apartment. So like at minimum, I think you have like 24. I think. 3 times 8, I think would be 24. I think that's like the minimum, and then maybe like 48 at max. I forget. It's like 3 or 6, I think, per apartment. I think there's like 8 high-end apartments you can own in the game as of the current moment in the game. As of the Los Santos Summer Special, which was the last time they added like another 2 high-end properties. So yeah, definitely make sure to fill this up. I'll probably do that after the stream, obviously. And yeah. I don't really care to go over the performance of the bicycles. Like, they're such a mean vehicle, it's not worth it. That's for sure. And then there is some property discounts. Alright, here, and yeah, obviously you've seen the title, you should probably know what it ends up being. Clubhouse, which one's the most expensive thing? This one? Yeah, I think the 495,000 there is the most expensive. So for example, 40% biker clubhouses are 40% off, so it's 297,000 being a 40% off discount. And then it seems all the upgrades are also 40% off. Alright, yeah, mural, style, those are all just cosmetics. Crew emblem. I sell a lot of cosmetic stuff too. But yeah, gun locker is one of a couple things that are not cosmetic from like the property screen here straight up. However, gun locker, there's some properties in the game now that have complimentary gun lockers, and complimentary means you don't really have to like pay for it. So like the nightclub, for example, I think the nightclub, for example, has a gun locker built into it that you don't have to like purchase separately. So yeah, some properties have that complimentary nowadays. So I wouldn't really recommend a gun locker unless you want to collect all the different gun lockers, I guess. Custom bike shop, it's basically just for convenience if you're spawned at your MC Clubhouse. And in my opinion, MC Clubhouse is not one of the better spawn locations, so in terms of spawning here, I wouldn't really bother with it. Doesn't seem you have to buy upgrade to be able to actually spawn in MC Clubhouse. I think you can spawn there though, but yeah. You don't get access to a very good point A to point B like helicopter or something, so I wouldn't really recommend using the MC Clubhouse as a spawn location. But if you're there, the custom bike shop's nice for the convenience, but yeah, not necessarily the most worth it. But if you get like all the upgrades and whatnot, all the most expensive upgrades, it looks like on the most expensive thing, it seems to come to around almost 1.2, and it's not including anything with the club name, which I don't know if there's a fee for that. But considering I already have one, there might be. It might just not be saying it because I already have one, if that makes sense. And then I can't show this one off, but I think there's things in relation to the businesses as well. But yeah, weed farms, counterfeit cash factories, document forgery offices and factories, and then all their upgrades and modifications are also 40% off, or maybe even 50% off. If you want like the weed, counterfeit cash, and then the document forgery stuff, it's like 40% and 50%, and then their upgrades or modifications. For the staff equipment security, you get those at a better deal if you like buy them during the event week, obviously. And then I think there's only vehicle discounts now, so the stream should finally kind of be wrapping up here now. Okay, I'll see if there's anything on the Arena War website. Okay, I think only 2 websites have discounts, and that does not include Arena War, Benny's, Elitist. I think only Legendary and Sovereign have discounts this time around, for the few new discounts here. But yeah, Tailgater S is still a prime gaming discount, in my opinion, being one of the few tuner vehicles that are not a sport car. I think that alone makes the Tailgater S very worth it. And it's better than the Warner HKR, at least, in terms of the 2 sedan tuner vehicles, so for that reason I also recommend the Tailgater S. And it's like another version of like the Tailgater from back from day 1 of the game, which we haven't really had a new Tailgater since 2013, so that's pretty cool. At least I'm pretty sure. So that's a little highlights on Prime Gaming discount, but I went over them when they first went on Prime Gaming sale, so I'm not going to go in much more detail than that. It might even be the only 4-seater. It might even be the only 4-seater tuner vehicle. All the other tuners might be 2 doors, so that might be a good advantage of the Tailgater S. At least I think. Then Flash GT is the other Prime Gaming discount. That one's at 80% over to 35%, but yeah. The This one's one of those like rally type sport cars, and the rally kind of type of sport cars don't really tend to perform that good, so I think this one's really best for the customizations and personal preference kind of reasons if you're just really like this vehicle or something. It's not really going to help you in races or anything though, from what I remember. But you do get quite the savings on that for sure. Hawkjaw Drag. But yeah, the Hawkjaw Drag is on a discount right now, and that's a 40% off discount there. This actually seems to be the only new Legendary Motorsport discount, aside for the two Prime Gaming ones that have been out for a couple weeks now or something, for those Prime Gaming discounts. But yeah, Hawkjaw Drag here, it's a motorcycle. But yeah, for lap time, the Shih Tzu Hawkjaw Drag is actually a second place lap time. Being a second place lap time, that's pretty damn decent. It's right behind the Shotaro, which I said was the number 1. So you literally get the number 2 lap time vehicle instead of being almost $1 million, almost 600,000. That's quite the nice savings on that 40% off or whatever. And yes, it is the 40% off. And then for top speed for the Hawkjaw Drag is actually 6th place. Yeah, Hawkjaw Drag is a 6th place top speed, so it's pretty decent in the top speed department too. Being within the top 10 for top speed. So it's within top 3 for lap time and then top 10 for top speed. So very decent performance out of this one for sure. So if you don't want to spend like $2.3 million on a motorcycle for some very good lap time, the Hawkjaw Drag could be a very good discount to take advantage of, no doubt. If you do motorcycle races and stuff. And even then, it's good for going around the city and whatnot for like free mode, obviously. And I think that does it for the discounts on Legendary. Only the Hawkjaw Drag was really a new discount, and there's still those 2 Prime Gaming Chameleons on discount, just glitched up at the moment. And all the other 4 new discounts seem to be on Stubborn Sand Race here. But yeah, Volcar Warner HKR is a 30% off discount. Instead of being almost $1 million on a trade price, it's a little under $700,000 again. That's on a trade price, which you unlock for like the first 75 ranks of reputation. Which if you were smart and were doing the AFK method through that previous event week, whatever, then you should probably have at least rank 75, I would imagine, easily. And yeah, again, that's a sedan. And I know what the tuner performance is, it's a very last place for those, but yeah. The Warner HKR. So I'll start off with the sedan. Actually, I'll start off with the tuner performance, even though I kind of already said it. But yeah. Between 17 tuner vehicles, this is number 17 out of 17 for lap time, and it's also number 17 out of 17 for top speed. Which means that in basically every way, shape, and form, performance-wise, it's actually the worst of the tuner vehicles. So it's actually definitely the worst tuner in the game. But at the same time, it's one of those few tuner vehicles that are not a sport car, because there was a massive 12 sport cars between 17 tuner vehicles. So being one of the few that aren't a sport car, I feel that kind of makes it a worthy purchase. In fact, that's the one reason I have a Warner HKR. I actually bought a Warner HKR, actually. I don't know if I've shown it on stream yet, but I did actually buy a Warner HKR. So yeah, I did get it because it is one of the few that's not a sport car. So that's kind of the hugest thing with it, is it's one of the more unique tuner vehicles in terms of its classing. But yeah, it's number 17 and number 17 out of 17 tuner vehicles for a lot of time top speed for tuner subclass, making it the worst performance for 17. But if you want the sedan performance, going off a Broughy 1322 spreadsheet, the Warner HKR is a 12th place lap time actually, which funnily enough actually puts it underneath the regular Warner, and actually seems to have the exact same lap time as the regular Warner. I guess it might have worse top speed than regular Warner if it's underneath the regular Warner on the spreadsheet then. Okay, Warner HKR. And then Warner HKR is a 15th place top speed for the sedan class, so yeah. For lap time, it's a 12th place, and then for top speed, 15th place for the sedan class. So it's one of those rare tuner vehicles that actually have like better performance in like its actual class and its subclass being the tuner class. Because the thing is, with a lot of these different tuner vehicles, is they're only really good for the tuner subclass. They tend to be usually horrible for the like actual like sport class, muscle class, coupe class, or the sedan class. In a sense, like I'm not saying in general, but for the most part, I mean. So yeah, sedan performance definitely more impressive than the tuner performance. Maxwell Vagrant. I think this vehicle has a trade price, I believe. I think it's the Diamond Casino Heist for its DLC, and I think it's a getaway vehicle, so I think if you do it as a like getaway vehicle in the Diamond Casino Heist, I think you get a trade price. And it looks like I do have the trade price for it, so I think this has a trade price if I recall, so yours might be more expensive if you haven't used it as a getaway vehicle for Diamond Casino Heist, or more so selected it, not necessarily used it. But yeah, this is in the off-road class. But yeah, off-road class. The Maxwell Vagrant is actually number 1 lap time for the off-road class. And then it's also number 1 top speed for the off-road class too, actually. So this is super good performance-wise, and you're getting it under $1 million of a 40% off discount, which if I haven't mentioned, the HKR was 30%, whereas all the other ones are 40% unless it's Prime Gaming. So yeah, you're getting number 1 for off-road for both lap time and top speed. That's a huge deal. There's not a lot of vehicles that are number 1 for both lap time and top speed. But at the same time, keep in mind, the off-road class allows you to use like certain dirt bikes like the Sanchez and stuff like that. So because of dirt bikes being a thing, like all the kind of vehicular-based off-road vehicles are kind of redundant in a sense, because dirt bikes kind of dominate in the off-road class in a sense. But still, it could probably compete pretty well with those dirt bikes anyways. I think it is a good investment if you're huge on off-road racing, or you like going off-road in free mode or something. And I could see the customizations being pretty good on that, and yeah. Going back to Warner HKR, the customizations on that are obviously very good, being a tuner vehicle. All the tuner vehicles have good customizations. Yeah, I think the reputation used to be $5,000. It seems they increased it to $10,000, because I could have sworn it was $5,000 before for the, like, reputation money you earn. Interesting. I don't know if that was kind of something they accidentally left over from the previous event week or something. But I think this could have some very good customizations as well. I didn't mention Hawkjaw Drag for customizations, but I doubt that has good customizations because it's a motorcycle and they don't really tend to have a lot of customizations. Vortex. But yeah, the Vortex, I actually cannot really show off discount because I do have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, hence the money icon. But the Vortex is actually on a discount of 40% off, so just take this free 56,000 and whatever 40% of that is, which is probably like high 100-ish thousand or low 200-ish thousand. That's basically what it's going to cost around there. But yeah, the Vortex. This discount is kind of pointless because, like I said, I have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. So if you just buy the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, which I think is like $40, and there's even like certain versions of the game you can buy that already have like the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, where it comes with a download code of it or something, that you probably get for the same like game price for actually buying the like actual game. But yeah, if you have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack or one of like versions that comes with it through a like download code or something, then you actually get the Vortex for free. So having it on discount, in my opinion, is kind of pointless. But yeah, for lap time, the Vortex is actually 9th place for lap time actually. So the Vortex is top 10 actually for lap time, which is actually pretty decent. So Vortex, especially with the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, getting it for free, you can get a good free like motorcycle in terms of lap time. But then again, you might as well just buy like body 801 for like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, whatever, and then the engine upgrades for like 250, 500,000 at like most, I'd say. But yeah. And then top speed for the Vortex. Top speed for the Vortex is actually 18th place. So yeah, that's a 9th place in lap time and an 18th place in top speed. So lap time is pretty decent in the top 10, and then the top speed is kind of nothing really to write home about. If I remember, I kind of remember some pretty good customizations on the Vortex. You are getting some good customizations for the Vortex, but yeah. Like I said, it's kind of a pointless discount to have, because you can get it for free just by getting that Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. And there's even bundles that have the, like, yeah, there's even bundles that come with, like, a shark card as well, which, in my opinion, would be the only time it's worth purchasing a shark card is with the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack for getting certain vehicles for free, and, like, businesses and stuff. That's kind of the only reason I would buy a shark card. See, I think you can get like a Megalodon and the Enterprise Starter Pack. Like, I think there's a $100 bundle with like the Starter Pack and the Shark Card, so you essentially get the Shark Card for like 60 instead of 100. And like I said, that's the only time I recommend getting a Shark Card, because obviously it's so easy, especially with Kyle Heist, to make money these days. So yeah. Okay, that's Vortex. And then finally the MTL Dunes, it's actually the last of the discounts. But yeah, this is actually a service vehicle, I believe, so very interesting in terms of its classing. Though I think you can actually use this for off-road racing as well, not just for the service class, so you can actually use this in off-road races, but it would mainly be like a meme-mobile, not anything of like actual good performance. But yeah, for the service class, there's only 10 vehicles in the service class. And the Dune is the #1 service vehicle in terms of lap time, and then for top speed for the Dune, it's 2nd place. So it's one of the better vehicles in terms of performance for the service class. And yeah, it's a Pegasus vehicle. But yeah, it's a Pegasus vehicle. There's 2 versions of it, which you can get both on discount if you want to collect all the Pegasus vehicles. If you want to collect all the Pegasus vehicles for some reason, you can save quite the money on it. So yeah, if you want to collect all the Pegasus vehicles, then definitely get the Dune on discount. And yeah, that's basically everything worth mentioning for the event week, and yeah, this is about to be 2 hours, so I'll probably try to make it quick. Like I said, I do actually have a PlayStation 5 coming in a couple days, which is quite exciting. So yeah, that's very cool. I should be getting a PlayStation 5 in the next couple days, and this might be the last time I touch my PlayStation 4 with this live stream. Maybe a tiny bit I will after this stream. And yeah. Sparrow and a Sea Sparrow review and guide, which I released yesterday, and it's been like 21 hours old now, but yeah, that's probably going to be it for the stream. Next one is going to probably be Red Down Line Event Week stream. Hope you enjoyed.